Welcome back, history enthusiasts. Today we dive into one of the most significant and titanic clashes of World War II, the Battle of Kursk. This battle, fought in the summer of 1943, marked the turning point on the Eastern Front and remains the largest tank battle in history. Let's explore this epic confrontation. By early 1943, the tide of war was beginning to turn against Nazi Germany. After their crushing defeat at Stalingrad, the Germans sought to regain the initiative on the Eastern Front. Their target was the Kursk salient, a bulge in the Soviet lines. The Germans planned Operation Citadel, aiming to encircle and destroy the Soviet forces within this salient. Hitler believed that a decisive victory at Kursk would restore German dominance in the east. The Germans amassed a massive force, including their latest tanks, the formidable Tiger and Panther. However, the Soviets were well aware of the impending German offensive. Thanks to effective intelligence and the strategic foresight of Soviet commanders like Georgy Zhukov, they prepared an extensive defensive network. The Red Army fortified the Kursk salient with multiple defensive lines, minefields, and anti-tank positions. The Soviets also amassed a formidable force, including the T-34 tank, which was crucial in their defensive strategy. The stage was set for a monumental clash. On July 5, 1943, the German offensive began. The initial assaults faced fierce resistance from the well-prepared Soviet defenses. The Germans advanced slowly, their progress hampered by extensive minefields and relentless Soviet counterattacks. Despite early successes in penetrating the first lines of defense, the German forces struggled to maintain their momentum. The Soviets launched powerful counterattacks, preventing the Germans from achieving a breakthrough. The climax of the Battle of Kursk came at Prokhorovka on July 12, 1943. This engagement saw one of the largest tank battles in history, with over 1,000 tanks clashing in a brutal and chaotic confrontation. The Soviet Fifth Guards tank army faced off against the elite German 2 SS Panzer Corps. Despite heavy losses, the Soviet forces managed to halt the German advance. The ferocity of the battle at Prokhorovka shattered German hopes for a decisive victory. As the German offensive stalled, the Soviets seized the opportunity to launch a massive counteroffensive. Operation Kutuzov in the north and Operation Rumiantsev in the south aimed to encircle and destroy the German forces. The Red Army's relentless attacks forced the Germans to retreat. The tide had turned. The Germans were now on the defensive, and the Soviets continued to press their advantage, pushing the front lines westward. The Battle of Kursk marked the last major German offensive on the Eastern Front. The Germans suffered heavy losses in men and material, losses they could ill afford. The Soviet victory at Kursk bolstered their morale and marked the beginning of a continuous advance that would eventually lead to Berlin. Kursk demonstrated the effectiveness of Soviet deep defense strategies and the resilience of the Red Army. It also highlighted the limitations of German armored warfare when faced with well-prepared defenses and overwhelming enemy numbers. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the defining moments of warfare. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present.